Oh my gosh, the drippies. This one's dancing. And this one,
Really, on my screen, they're just hanging out. They're in love. Cool. The drippies are in love.
oh, they're so cute. I actually love the drippy minions so much. One is like going through your coat, and you can just see the like thing like sticking through the coat.
Now it's dancing. Oh, it's smacking me in the head with it. It's okay.
Good, that's what you deserve. But
Can't stay mad at them. Okay.
no, oh. But anyhow, sorry, we came here today not to talk about drippies, but instead to talk about Hrothgar hairstyles because, oh my god,
they are bloody atrocious. But okay, moving on.
In terms of things, I think that one thing that we should say off the bat is I love the developers. I mean,
Oh, I do too. Absolutely. They give so much to this game, and it's you know, it's an incredible game. We're lucky to have such talented, amazing developers.
yeah, I think that always is scary is to give any kind of criticism to this game because, and I know that this is the same for a lot of creators. I mean, I talk to a lot of them in DMs, and it's just like they're just like, I am not going to touch this topic with a 10-foot pole because like I'm going to get like smashed if I do. And so one thing that I'm going to try and make really clear here is like I made a YouTube channel out of love for this game. I have a website with no ads, no revenue source, no Patreon on it. That like I collect no money. I'm pouring money into that for this game. I love this game. I played it for a decade. And I say in almost every video the developers are a blessing, and so I hope that people can understand when we say these kinds of things, this comes from the heart because we care, not because we hate the devs. So, yeah.
No, exactly. Like we just like playing our Hrothgars, and the hair choices, in our opinion, they don't look good, and it's a bummer.
No, they've decatted my boy. My dude has no ears. Dude, where's my car? But dude, where's my ears?
Pretty much.
People are now gonna know how old I am with that reference. Oh my god, I'm screwed.
Okay. I can just change my hairstyle, right? And then I don't have to do mechanics anymore in Raid. I can just be like, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Sorry, I can't hear the callouts. What's that? Oh, smashed.
What the bird's supposed to make a screeching noise? I can't hear it.
Oh god. Oh, Garuda during Uwu does that screech and then you dodge the feathers. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking more like the dive bomb thing.
Oh yeah, the P3S dive bomb.
Yeah.
Squeak, squeak. And then you can move into the middle after the squeak because the snapshot.
Exactly,
oh god,
yeah.
snapshots are tight. But in terms of things, now I kind of want to move. Sorry, for anyone watching, we do kind of have like some talking points here. And my next talking point is why do certain parts of the community keep treating Hrothgars poorly? And I do want to say, obviously this isn't the majority, but there has definitely been a vocal, outspoken community subset. And I will let like you talk in a second, name it, but oh my god, some of my comments are just bad, like on yesterday's video. And one thing I don't do is I don't remove comments, but YouTube actually has a like feature that where they automatically filter your comments for you, like if they contain like super bad content. And the comments that you can see, some of them are bad enough, but some of the filters are horrible, like just really, really bad. Like I'm not even gonna elaborate on it. It's just like definitely like homophobia is the least of my concerns in some of those.
People on the internet are pretty shitty, to be honest.
Yeah, it's shocking, but it's just like one of them was that really stood up. Well, a few of them was just like, oh, in order to like comment on Hrothgar hair, you have to be a degenerate, or you have to be like this or that, or like 14 is like get off 14 and get a life, you degenerate, like and all this stuff. And I'm like, what? Like I'm a full
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like for me, like I'm a dude who literally does like full-time software development job, like full stack software development, and it's just like, and I have no problem holding down a job, and yet people are just like, oh, you're a degenerate and you got to be like jobless and like you have a problem with this and all this stuff, and I'm like, huh? But
yeah, it's ridiculous. Like at the end of the day, people should just be able to play whatever they like to play, and it's as simple as that. It doesn't really mean anything about you other than you just pick the race that you like, and you just play it and you have fun. Like if I want to play like a gigantic beefy Hrothgar because I think that they're cool, and it's just cool to play like some massive beast man that could, eat dragons for breakfast. That's what I'm gonna pick because it's fun.
I woke up this
Not
morning and
necessarily
I
'cause there's
saw a
anything wrong with
bear.
any of the other races, but like I don't know, they're just not as cool to me, so that's why I go with the Hrothgar. It's just my choice, and that's that.
Yeah, and for me, it's just like as simple as like I'm in my late 20s, I have big shoulder span, I work out, and it's just like for me, I identify really much with my Hrothgar. It's just like I maybe not this glamour in particular, but it's just like I see myself in a lot of these outfits. A lot of the clothes that I like wear, I actually have in real life. Like it's just like the t-shirts and like the pants and stuff, especially now that they're incorporating more of these like casual glams. Like I I I relate to my character a lot. Like with the brown hair, the green eyes, the like it's basically like something that I can identify with. And but of course that's just me. There's nothing wrong if you're like a 6'5" like dude and like to play a cat girl. Like nothing should be wrong with that. But at the end of the day, it all like some of the things that are being said about Hrothgar also remind me about what was said about Lalafels a few years ago. And some of those things, which I will not repeat, are just the most insane things that you can say about someone over the choice of a race in an online video game. I'm just like, what? Huh? Or like when Male VR came out, I remember Asmongold basically like, I don't even know, like basically slam dunked them, and it was just. But at the end of the day, you gotta play what you resonate with, because this is an MMORPG at the end of the day, and if you don't relate to your character, like why are you even playing this?
End of the day, it's a game. You're supposed to have fun, so you're supposed to pick whatever you would like to play as, and it's as simple as that. And
Yeah.
that's really what it is.
I mean, I'm even thinking about it, and this is gonna be my last point before I say it, is at the end of the day, like when I think about like even like raids, it's just like, do I care what race someone is? No. It's just like at the end of the day, we're all humans on the other side of the screen, and it's just like I want to be with someone who, as a human, I relate to, who like can talk to, can be like, okay, blah blah blah. Oh, what do you mean you did this? Oh, that's really cool. Or like their ability to like learn mechanics, or their ability to like just be chill. I guess that's kind of related to the first point, but chill raid teams are the raid teams that stick together. The unchill teams are the ones that just crumble and fade. But in terms of that, it has nothing to do with the race. It's everything to do with the human being that I am literally playing the game with.
Yeah, they're literally 100% cosmetic.
Yeah. So to me, I think that this is all just so. It's insane to me. It actually is insane to me that people are just like, oh, because you play Hrothgar, blah blah blah, this blah 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 blah. It's just like, what? Huh?
To be kind of honest with you, those people are probably people that need to chill out and get a life. But
Oh yeah, yeah. Like it's just like if you need to literally play with a bunch of dudes all playing cat girls or whatever because you think that that's right, like all the power to you. But I'm gonna keep my distance. And like to me, it's just like you play whatever you want to play. At the end of the day, I'm trying to play with people. And I'm gonna move on from this point, but I think everyone gets what I mean. So let's do our initial impressions of Hair. And sorry to anyone who notices lag on my screen. So I'm literally just gonna. Okay, so now we have the screenshots in front of us. Technical difficulties averted. So yeah, I'll let you like state your thoughts on the hairs in order, because I feel like I've talked too much. We'll just go in order.
So, honestly, yeah, I guess this first one, not a fan. I think it would look much better on a human, not a beast race. The second one here, I just find it kind of scary looking, like with that big toothy grin and that hair. I don't know. Like this is like some sort of like monster that I could see like in my closet coming out to eat me, on Halloween. It's just quite scary. So this is like the edgy, I don't know, early 2000s, emo Hrothgar. That's neat, but again, I don't know how he's gonna make his emo music because he doesn't have any ears. How's he gonna hear?
How's he gonna? Oh no!
Okay, the cloud one here is pretty cool. Like again, like I could understand, this one not having the ears because they're under the hat.
Wait, the which
Or
one?
Snow, not cloud, snow.
Oh, this. Yeah.
Cloud, yeah. I don't know why I said that.
I was like,
know
what?
Cloud is the female. Snow is the guy from 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But yeah,
actually
don't know.
don't hate this one. I actually really like it.
The
I
forehead
think
is-
if it had ears though. Sorry.
Yeah, like there's one mod that has a hat with ears. But yeah,
Yeah,
anyhow, this one's pretty cool.
We have a lot to
And
talk
then
about
this
mods
one.
later, but
Hmm.
yeah, it's cute.
This last, it's our second last one. This Hrothgar wants to speak to the manager. I'm not a fan. And the final one, it's okay, but again, no ears. Like if they just put the ears on it, like I don't know why they couldn't just leave the ears where they are. Then everything would be okay.
See, for this hairstyle, it reminds me of like the band from way back when called AFI, and they had like the song like Miss Murder, but it's just like this is like one like half of the length that it should be because it's just like his like hair thing is like way to the side. But I could definitely see it being like
maybe a bit.
I'm
I don't
gonna
know, it's just weird. I'm not a fan of any of I'm not a fan of any of these really. The snow one's kind of okay.
I think that the snow one is one that I could actually see myself using. Like, I actually, in reality, could see myself totally using it. I am also, like, a huge fan. Like, Snow was my favorite 13 character. Absolutely adored that character. But in terms of the rest, like, do I see myself potentially trolling with the Type 2B one? Yeah. Because, I mean, I do love myself a good, stupid, bright, vibrant, pink, stupid, trolly glam. But in terms of the rest, I'm really not a fan.
I can see the videos now. You're just like, I want to speak to the manager. Scholar changes, unhappy.
What do you mean you cut my expedient in half? I came here.
Well, I'd like to speak to your manager.
Oh my god, that would be the worst video ever.
Yes.
Oh my god, I can't be that uptight. I can't be that high strung. But in terms of these, for two reasons, I don't like these hairs. The first one is, or do you want to go? Because you know what? I think that you will say a better job of saying it than me.
Okay, so like when I went to play a Hrothgar, you know what? I don't know what female Hrothgars are gonna look like. Maybe they'll look awesome. These hairs will look awesome on the female Hrothgars when they're first released. But on male Hrothgars, I'm not a fan of most of these hairstyles because like I don't know. I just wanted like like the wind collar hairstyle, like more like cool like bro type hairstyles.
I love
'cause
wind collar.
Play, some like big beefy beast man, that eats dragons for breakfast, and I'm not feeling it with these. I'm not feeling it. Instead, I look like the Karen wig here with the ears chopped off, and it just makes me sad.
Yeah, which I mean, I know because you said like these are for female Hrothgar. There are people coming for you now in the comment section because they're just like, I don't want these either.
But that's not my point. I just thought
I know, I'm
maybe
teasing.
they might look better on like the female Hrothgar.
I think that they have the potential to, but
Many of them.
Mhm.
Like the hat is obviously. I think that hat will. I don't know if female Hrothgar will. Yeah, they could all look good depending on what you're doing, right?
Depending on what your goal is, yeah. But for me, overall, I don't like these hairs for like the two reasons. Like, as you said, like the choice, but like, what are your thoughts on ears?
Where are the ears? Why are they chopped off? How is the Hrothgar supposed to hear?
How is the Hrothgar supposed to hear the raid callouts?
I know. What have you done to my ears, Yoshi P? What have you done?
Your cat
I want
boy
them
status has been taken away. You're no
I
longer
want
cat
my
man.
Hrothgar ears back.
Hey, I played a Hrothgar to play like a cat guy, like a cat bro, a cat dude. And now we're officially uncat. We're not cat anymore.
Yeah, I'll just have to use my old hairstyle.
I mean, people were saying, okay, you could use like the Tamamo headband, which is like the cute little foxy ears, and I'm like, yeah.
Like, why should I have to glamour in ears on my big cat? Man?
They also don't look the
Sorry.
same.
Weird.
They really just don't look the same. But
They don't.
in terms of it, I just think that ears should come back. Like, that's all I really have to say for this point, at least. Or,
You know, exactly.
do you have
I guess
anything
the other
else?
thing we
Oh,
should
sorry.
add is, like, I don't know, yeah, we should talk about it though. Like, so it looks like you might still have to use a Fantasia to change the hairstyles.
Yeah, the wording there. And see, we literally have like a 50-50 divide on the wording, because the wording in the in the patch notes, my apologies, in the patch notes, was that for the Hrothgar hair, you can change them either at character creation, or change it for your retainer, or you could use a Fantasia. It like listed out these things, and I'm like, esthetician wear. And so, but people, which leads me to the conclusion that they have done nothing in terms of like needing to use a Fantasia to change the Hrothgar hairstyles. Because I was actually shocked that other people were shocked that they just found out that, yeah, since Hrothgar were created, you've needed to use a Fantasia to change their hair. Which likewise, people talk about, oh, Hrothgar aren't popular. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I know people aren't using Hrothgar, that on top of the no hats. But it's just like, if something like that was changed in my brain, and obviously, like, I am not all-knowing. In fact, I usually self-depreciate, if anything, on my channel. But to me, if you were making a change to Fantasia, and correct me if you're wrong, like, if you disagree with me, please do. But, like, if you made a change like that, which is pretty big after literally, like, 3 years of Hrothgar being out, wouldn't you make it a bigger deal? Like, wouldn't that be something that you'd like tell people? Like, am I losing my cookies?
Yeah, you'd think that they
losing
would
my
try to make
ears.
it available through the esthetician, but
Well, yeah, but if they did do that, wouldn't you like expect them to literally announce it, like flashing lights, just like, wow, Hrothgar after all these years can actually use this without a Fantasia?
they put that in there exactly.
Yeah, like,
Unless it requires a Fantasia.
and that's why I'm thinking it doesn't. But like, some people are just like, oh, it has to be the wording, and I'm like, I don't know. I also fell for, like, I don't want to say fell for it, because it clearly wasn't, but I was under the impression it was an April Fool's joke. I was under the impression, because it's just like, you look at Yoshi P and them, like, in the live letter, and they were, like, laughing, and I'm like, oh, haha, this is, like, the April Fool's joke. I wasn't gonna make it a big deal. And people were just like, oh, blah, 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 this is so atrocious, blah, 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 and why aren't you talking about it? You're, like, betraying all of your fan base. I'm like, huh? It's probably an April Fool's joke. Like, just wait until the patch note, and then the patch note's not effective. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. So to me, the Fantasia change is probably one of my biggest concerns, because it's what, $10 to change hair. It's just like, at this point, Hrothgar is like the most expensive character to keep up.
Yeah, something like that. So,
And I mean, maybe that sounds stupid, but it's just like, in order to get the hairstyle, like the snow hairstyle, that's a premium hairstyle. And in order to change to it, assuming that the Fantasia hasn't been changed, you need to get a Fantasia. Boom, 25 USD, right out the gate. And I'm like, ooh,
bummer.
like, Hrothgar, high upkeep cost.
It's just disappointing. I really, I really expected more from this game, but yeah.
Same. It's just like with the quality of 14.
It's okay. It's disappointing.
Yeah, I think that's ultimately my feeling. It's just like, I'm not mad. I'm if anything actually really sad, because it's just like, you look at all these other systems and they're beautiful. Like the new PvP change for 6.1, amazing. The new armor with that, amazing. Like, there are so many good, amazing things about it. But then you look at the Hrothgar hair and you're like, this is the same guts?
Exactly.
And I love our dev team. Please, please, like everyone, like I said it at the start of the video, I can't say it enough. I love the dev team so much. I wouldn't be a freaking YouTube channel on the game if I didn't. But it's like, I just don't know where the same energy is for Hrothgar. I don't know where that same love is, because it's just like, looking at these hairstyles, like I look at them, and actually let's segue into the mod section, because I think that this would be appropriate segue. Do you agree?
Yeah, I know for sure. So like, I can give you my opinion on that too,
Okay.
and the mod.
Yeah, please
So,
do.
like, I don't know if this is the way to start it, but like, I just really think we should look at the mods because, in my opinion, a lot of the mods actually look better than the hairstyles that are presented here, and
Some of them are
to me, it's
stunning.
disappointing.
I'll let you continue, but I want to say one thing to that is make such a hard effort to not use any mods in this game. I use the abacus, but that's expected if you're in the raiding community to use the abacus. I don't use anything beyond that. I don't use call-out things. I don't use anything. I try so hard to avoid these things, but it's just like, if you have 2 eyes and you browse Twitter, you've seen mods. It's like, you will see it.
They're everywhere.
They are everywhere. It's just like, there are like many YouTubers that even just like flat out openly use it. And then there are some that use tools to like augment housing, like things like, and I don't use any of these. And so when someone is just like, oh, just use like a modded hair, I'm just like, I don't do mods. I've never done this kind of stuff. And it's like, but I just want to say that. Please keep going with the mods, but I just felt like I had to say that because people are just like, why don't you just use mods then? Well, I mean, first of all, it's against the terms of service. Yoshi P made it clear. Mods are against the terms of service. And so it's just like, I don't do them. So, but you keep going, sorry. I just had to say that because I know people will be in the comments like, oh, just mod then. And it's like, no, it's not that simple. Especially because I upload freaking YouTube footage onto YouTube.
No, exactly. The point is that it's like just disappointing that, you know, some of these mods that, you know, people have put together just look so much better than what's available in the base game. Because you'd think, you know, that a big box studio like Square Enix would have the resources to do it properly and not chop off our ears.
Oh, they're huge. They're huge. And you just look at the difference between Catboy ears to Hrothgar ears, and I know this is the mod section, but I do want to touch on it lightly. I made a Catboy earlier, and all of the different hairstyles had different ears on them. And then when I was trying on different helmets, because factually, I forget what it's like to wear a helmet, you look at some of the helmets, and they obviously take off the ears, like completely take off the ears. And oftentimes on the helmet itself, like the Miss Beard mask, they'll have like place-in ears, but that's more common than you think because it's on a bunch of different ones. It's just like, there was like a hat that was like this like straw weave kind of thing, and then it like had the ears there, but you see it all the time, and it's just like, you can do like that for McPody, but sorry, maybe I should like not talk about hats here, but it's just something that I noticed. But like, bring it specifically to the hairs. You look at the hairs in the character creator, and I was just hovering over all of them, and I had like 2 different tones to my hair. They were completely different ears on different hairstyles. I don't know why that same energy can't be brought to Hrothgar hairstyles. It's just like, my particular ears in particular, I love them, but if I had to change up my ears in order to get ears on like the snow hair, I'd do it. But in terms of the modding, I mean, what's your favorite modded hairstyles?
The wind collar hair, hands down.
I love the wind collar hairstyle.
And then also,
so
there's
much.
another one that is just like a hat, but it like still shows the ears. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And I'm trying to not talk about the hats thing because it's just like, I saw during the like live letter that there was like this punk like look, like this punk rocker look with like a backwards hat with like a bandana underneath the hat, like, and you know, what are my thoughts on backwards hats? Because I think you have all
I know you love that look.
yeah. The more that, the better. So I'm just
Yeah.
like, I need this. But reality is I already know I'm not gonna get it. And maybe this should be more of a hat section kind of thing to say, but it's just like after 3 years, my default expectation shouldn't be like, or like when a seasonal event comes around, you know I do a video on it. But how excited am I actually when that event comes around?
I mean, we can never use any of the hats from any of them, so.
Yeah, and so my like excitement is like lower and lower and lower, especially if like the reward is a hat. Like, thank God the little Ladies Day event hat we could use, but it's like I look at like all of these new things coming out, and I'm like, I can't get excited for it because I use it. I'm excited for other people, but that's a very different kind of excitement than for myself. It's just like I'm just like, you know what, this is amazing. This is gonna look really good on your characters. And then like I sit in the corner to myself and I'm just like, this makes me sad. But in terms of like, how to say it? In terms of the modded hairs, there's so many that I love. But what I've noticed is like, it's usually like these shorter styles. Like there are like a few examples, and I'll see if during editing I can like put them in through like Premiere Pro. But like they are good. Like there's this one that has like the same last name as you on like Twitter, and I love his short style. I just actually adore it, and it looks so freaking good. But it's just like, that's not an option. But it's just like all these different styles, and I'm like, especially like the wind collar. Oh my god, you'd expect, because that was the hairstyle from Boja. Hrothgars couldn't use it in the first place, and now we still can't use it, and it just strikes me as surprising, especially that one, because that was one of the most requested. In fact, it's one of the ones that I definitely want to use, and it's just like I can't. I like the mod hairs, but I can't use them.
I know, man. It sucks.
But yeah, do you have anything else to add on that?
Not really. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah. And so, like, did you have anything specifically on hats? I know that I went on my little hat thing. I'm not gonna rehash it, but
I don't know. It's just disappointing when they've been hyping something up since.
you
I
really
think it
give
was
the
August.
Ladies Day crown.
Great about this, and then they put in the hairstyles, and they're just very underwhelming, to be honest. But,
Well,
oh well, it is what it is. The game is still a lot of fun, and there's a lot of new interesting content. So
yeah, I'm not
We'll
gonna
just
say
enjoy
something
that,
dramatic like I'm
maybe.
gonna quit,
No,
because that'd
exactly.
be BS.
It
But
would be.
it does make me feel like how to say it, it's just like with the Fantasia costs and it, even if it is changed, which I'm hoping it is, but we haven't heard confirmation, like Hrothgars have always been expensive. You can't change your hair without a Fantasia. I know that it's
No.
driven players off of them to different races, and so people are like, oh, I don't see that many Hrothgar around. I'm like, I wonder why. You can't use all these different reward hats, and so like every seasonal event comes around and it's like, oh, this is a hat for a reward. It feels bad. And then it's just like, I can't change my hair without a Fantasia. That feels bad. This is the kind of thing that in a game where cosmetics are such a big factor, like that drives people away. Like I'm looking at my own character, and it's just like, I use these sunglasses because it's just like, I love them. I think they're awesome, but it's just like people are just like, haha, they're the same glasses you've used for the past 3 years, haha. And I'm like, thank God for them, but like, yeah. In terms of things, yeah, that's about all I have to say, at least on it. I'm for one hoping, oh, maybe we should talk more about the ears, just in terms of modding. Through mods, I mean, how many hairstyles or hats have you seen modded with ears poking through them?
Modded?
Yeah.
A few.
Only a few. What? BS.
With the clipping?
Oh, yeah, there's gonna be some clipping. Actually, maybe we should talk about that. Maybe that should be its own
Yeah,
section.
it's not on Twitter all the time. There's a bunch of, modded Hrothgar hats that people
There's
post.
so many. There's so many, and I don't know Like, people are just saying, like, oh, the ears were attached to, like, the base of the model of, like, the head. And, like, even if you are quote-unquote bald, like, you're still gonna have those ears. It's just, like, I look at these mods of, like, just throwing on a hat on a Hrothgar, and it's, like, literally, as far as I can tell, just throwing on the hat on the Hrothgar model. And, like, it's, like, actually pretty good. I for one, don't care about clipping.
Yeah, I don't really either. I think it's a pretty minor non-issue in most cases.
And I'm just thinking about, like,
not having ears is a bigger issue.
yeah. Like, one of the examples that comes to my mind is, like, the snow hair that is being added, which, thank God, that's my favorite of the bunch by far. The others I don't see myself ever really using. But, like, I see the modded snow hair with the ears, and I'm like, oh, that looks really good. Like, it's really cute. And I'm gonna try and include pictures here. But I'm like, damn. It hurts. It hurts. But
it does. It's disappointing, and you know what? Whatever. You know what? Hopefully, the devs will watch this video, and
I don't think they will. I mean,
yeah.
I don't. Honestly, I'm not that big.
You can always hope.
I hope. More than anything, I hope that word gets out, because it's just like... I think that one thing is, like, people are just like, Hrothgars aren't played by that many people, but, like, a lot of people don't think about things like G-pose and glamour. Those are huge in our community. Like, these are not little teeny little things. But, like...
Oh, glamour is true endgame.
Yeah, and people are actively unable to, like, participate because some glamour competitions are like, well, you need to wear a particular style of hat. And then it's just like, well, I can't. Well, maybe you should have chosen a better race. And it's like, oh my god. And so that definitely has dinged a few people, I know. But in terms of that, I guess I just wish that we were all brought to the same level, or like the same amount of energy, the same kind of love was just brought into it.
I just wish it was consistent, right? So you'd have the same options across all the different race choices in the game.
It'd be really nice. But that's all I really have to say on this. I'm just praying and hoping something changes, because what a bummer.
Same, man. I'm just bummed out. You know, I was excited for almost a year, and I see it, and now I'm just like, oh well, it is what it is.
Yeah, and that's
I guess I'll just have to be excited about PvP.
Yeah, exactly. And I just hope, like, going forward, that maybe, like, hats going forward could be changed too, so Hrothgars can use them at least in some capacity. It's like when I popped up my Makoti, like, their ears obviously are either taken off, or like the hat's redesigned to, like, include them, or the hat has the ears completely taken off and the hat redesigned for them. Like, I just wish that same kind of energy was brought to Hrothgar, because I do think it's possible. Maybe it's just a matter of, like, moving the ears off of the model onto the hat or the hair. Like, I'd be okay with that. But I think it's time to conclude the video, though. So, any last words, or any last words?
Yeah, that's. I think we said everything we need to say.
Yeah. I'm just hoping that something changes, because people are just like, oh, Cole doesn't really care. Like, I read that forum post. Someone sent me that forum post and I shared it with you. I'm like, oh my god. People are getting the wrong impression. This bums me out, guys.
No.
But yeah.
We do care. It's sad.
Oh my god, a lot. Anyhow.
You're a sad Hrothgar.
Yeah.
With bad hair.
It's bad hair. My current hair, I love my current hair. But you know what? After 3 years, I'd like a change. It's just like, then I look at all these people just like, oh, this new raid drops this kind of hair. And I'm like, I'm happy for you. Fries and corn. But yeah, that's all I got.
Hey, man. All right.
Thank you everyone for coming to our video. I greatly appreciate it. And if you can, like, try and, like, help spread the word about, like, Hrothgar hairs, and yeah.
Exactly.
If you can, send Hrothgar some love, because I know a lot of us, probably the incredible majority, are pretty bummed out, to say the least. So yeah.
Exactly.
Anyhow, take care everyone, and I hope that you have a fantastic day. And a fantastic hair day too.
Take care.